Deadshot made his debut in 1950 as a new vigilante in Gotham gunning for Batman's job, appearing in a top hat, domino mask, and tuxedo. Floyd Lawton was a millionaire playboy just like Bruce Wayne, but unlike Batman, Deadshot used guns and shot to kill. He even worked with criminals himself, using his vigilante act to distract the police from more serious crimes. Like in the Suicide Squad, Deadshot is eventually captured by the Dark Knight and put behind bars. Deadshot is known for his impeccable marksmanship and is often hired as an assassin. He was one of the first villains recruited by Amanda Waller to join the Suicide Squad.
But I finally have them.
Just like in the more modern comics, in the film, Will Smith portrays a more sympathetic version of Deadshot who can't help but shake the sense of honor instilled in him by his young daughter Zoe.
Please, Daddy, don't do it.
Though he joins the squad reluctantly for the sole purpose of receiving visitation rights in exchange for his mission, Deadshot may just have what it takes to be a hero.
Don't forget, we're the bad guys.
The Joker debuted less than a year after the Batman himself in 1940's Batman #1. He was introduced as a remorseless murderer terrorizing Gotham by poisoning public figures using his Joker venom. Originally intended to be killed off in the first issue, he was thankfully granted a last-minute reprieve by the editors and has continued to simultaneously terrify and delight audiences for more than 75 years. As the years went on, the Joker's darkness has waxed and waned, with schemes ranging from as light as the Jokermobile to as dark as killing a Robin in cold blood. Though most of Joker's origin remains as cloudy as his sanity, it has been repeatedly asserted that Mr. J was once a petty thug known as the Red Hood, whose face was irreversibly damaged in a vat of chemicals during his first encounter with the Dark Knight. Though the Joker has been played by many voice actors in film, TV, and animation over the years, Jared Leto makes his debut as Harley Quinn's murderous boyfriend in Suicide Squad.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really bad.
Portrayed as a more modern-day gangster than previous incarnations, this Joker tracks the squad throughout the film, trying to save his twisted paramour. Christopher Weiss, otherwise known as Slipknot, first appeared in 1984 in the comic Fury of Firestorm #28. A scientist who created durable ropes to help himself commit crimes out of the reach of authorities, Slipknot quickly found himself at the mercy of Amanda Waller and was installed on the Suicide Squad. Slipknot was the first of the squad to resist the explosive deterrents that were meant to force them to comply with Waller's orders, and thus he lost an arm when he tried to run. And in Suicide Squad, Slipknot literally loses his head for disobeying orders. Unlike every other member of the Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn's first appearance was not in a DC comic book.
What?
Instead, she was created in 1992 by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm for Batman the Animated Series. Originally designed to be a simple one-off henchman for the Joker, Harley was a major hit with fans and quickly developed a life of her own, inspiring a 1994 graphic novel called Mad Love, which recounted her origin as Joker's psychotherapist turned devoted paramour. By 1999, she had found her way into mainstream DC Comics continuity and eventually launched her own successful ongoing series.
You're welcome.
She left Mr. J behind and even started her own gang.
Hey guys, I'm back!
One of DC's most popular anti-heroes, Harley Quinn comes to screen for the very first time in Suicide Squad.
You ever been in love?
In a performance that honors the rich history of the character while embracing a tortured sadness all its own. Waylon Jones was born with a skin condition that caused him to progressively mutate into a crocodile-like monster. Orphaned at an early age, Jones was treated like a monster his whole life and eventually decided to start acting like one. Jones made a name for himself using his incredible strength to wrestle alligators. That name, of course, was Killer Croc. Croc soon realized he could make more money in the underworld and set his sights on becoming Gotham's top criminal figure, making a quick enemy of the Batman. Since then, Croc has broken out countless times, making appearances in many iconic Batman storylines.
I'm beautiful.
Described by actor Adewale Akinoye Akbaje as a cannibal with rage issues, this killer Croc is recruited by Rick Flag and Belle Rev while being imprisoned in an underground cage that he supposedly asked for.
Ain't you scared?
Croc uses his unique abilities to swim, claw, and bite his way through the mission, showing hints that this killer's skills can be used for good. Tatsu Yamashiro was just an average Japanese girl with above-average martial arts skills. She was caught in a love triangle between two brothers, Masao and Takeo Yamashiro. She chose Masao as her husband, which greatly angered Takeo, a Yakuza member who sought vengeance against his twin. Masao was slain by his brother using the mystical Soul Taker sword, which traps the souls of those it kills within. Witnessing her husband's death, Tatsu disarms Takeo and is amazed to hear her husband's voice come from the sword. Katana went on to train under a master called Tadashi and engaged in superheroics for decades with the Outsiders and the Birds of Prey before voluntarily joining the Suicide Squad as Rick Flag's personal bodyguard.
This is Katana. She's got my back.
Karen Fukuhara's portrayal of Katana in Suicide Squad stands out from the rest of the team as she is the only squad member who is not a criminal and fights willingly. Though as Fukuhara puts it, her character has morals and codes, but she can still slice up hundreds of people without taking a breath. Hell yes.
You got a boyfriend?
George Digger Harkness was raised in Australia, the illegitimate son of an American toy maker. Digger developed boomerang skills at a young age, using it for mischief before advancing to more serious crimes as an adult. When he was 18, Harkness was kicked out of the house and sent to America to meet his biological father. His father's toy company happened to be launching a toy boomerang at the time and needed someone to portray the mascot, Captain Boomerang. Guess who got that job? Harkness, however, used his alter ego in a string of jewelry heists that led to him first encountering his arch nemesis, the Flash.
No honor among thieves, eh?
After being nabbed by the Flash in Suicide Squad, Captain Boomerang was forced against his will to join the team.
Why don't we have some fun?
The recruitment was involuntary as he was forced to wear an explosive that would detonate if he disobeyed orders. Enchantress first appeared in Strange Adventures number 187. In her first story, June Moon was a freelance artist who, while partying at an old castle, becomes empowered by a demon to fight evil by taking on the powers of the Enchantress. All she has to do is say the word
Enchantress.
and she becomes a powerful witch capable of fighting monsters.
Go get it, girl.
She next appeared as a villain, beginning her legacy as a dangerous character who was unable to control her powers. She was recruited into the Suicide Squad on the condition that she could keep her powers in check, but this proved more difficult than June suspected. Enchantress has been in and out of mental hospitals for years, sometimes emerging a hero, but many times succumbing to her dark side. In Suicide Squad, Enchantress is the most powerful member of the team, if only June Moon can keep her in check. With the rise of her evil brother Incubus, things only get harder for the squad. This is complicated by the fact that June and the team's leader, Rick Flag, are in love. Though many characters have taken on the name El Diablo, the version featuring Chato Santana debuted in his own miniseries in 2008. Santana was an LA gangbanger who was double-crossed when a crooked cop crippled him. Santana uses his fire abilities to go after his former gang, unfortunately taking innocent lives in the process. Feeling guilty, Santana goes with the police quietly. He is put on death row at Belle Rev, but ends up inducted into the Suicide Squad by Amanda Waller.
That ain't me.
That wasn't you.
Actor Jay Hernandez plays El Diablo in the film in a heartbreaking portrayal. During an argument with his wife Grace over his criminal activity, El Diablo loses his temper and accidentally unleashes his powers, killing his family in the process. Unlike the rest of the Suicide Squad, Santana does not embrace his violent past and wants to avoid the fight. That is not going to be an option for him.
I was just trying to get you there. So we good, right?
Amanda Waller was introduced in 1986 as a widow who worked her way up to congressional aid before discovering the existence of the previous incarnations of the Suicide Squad. She led Argus and oversees Task Force X, running the team with autonomy and often defying orders and putting her personal wishes above those of the US government.
I want to build a team of some very bad people who I think can do some good.
Waller has no problem doing bad things for the greater good of the country.
That's gangster.
Viola Davis brings a new, confident edge to Amanda Waller as she enters the DC Extended Universe.
Do your worst, bitch.
The Suicide Squad first appeared in 1959 in Brave and the Bold number 25. Rick Flag led this World War II era team of soldiers. When the squad was reinvented in the 80s as a team of convicts, Rick Flag's son, Rick Flag Jr., was chosen by Amanda Waller to lead them.
The finest special forces officer this nation has ever produced.
Both in the comics and in the film portrayed by Joel Kinnaman, Flag hates working with criminals.
You disobey me, you die.
And has a specific problem with Deadshot.
You just threaten me? Yeah.
But does not shy away from standing up for his comrades, even against Waller.
I'll accept the consequences.
I am your consequence.
That's all the time we have. Thanks for watching Squad's Reductions, and don't forget to learn the whole story with Suicide Squad on Blu-ray and digital HD. I'm Jason Inman. I'll see you in Bel Rev.